It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìí yẹ. Mayegun máa wí.
Hello, dear brethren. So, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. And thank you for joining me. Remember, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description as well and like it. You know, that's your own offering. Pay your offering, which is like the broadcast, and then share it to invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them to join us. The Mayegun is live. Thank you. Today, as announced last night by Kolu, the state of emergency in Rivers State came to an end. And it was a kind of like a hush-hush ceremony of transfer of power, because Foolbara never handed over to the sole administrator, the legal one. And when Ibas was leaving, he left last night, and today, people, including the supporters of Foolbara, they were all at the government house to witness his return. But his return was not as ceremonial as it will be. Initially, they even thought maybe he had sort of like absconded or abdicated, which means maybe he won't even show up until he showed up. All right. I think the headline was set before he showed up. So anyway, we are going to go to River State, take a look at or see what happened around the place from last night to this evening, I think, as well as the return of Werey Wike, because he's back in Nigeria right now. So, and he's back on his on the podium, where his own music band are very much right, or they are very much. So he used the occasion to call out his enemies who were spreading rumors about his, his health challenges and why he traveled to London. So I've got that for you tonight. I've got a lot as usual. So let's just get down to it. So last night, Ibas left the River State government house, being the end of the 6-month illegal state of emergency declared by Tifnumbu. And if you want me to take you through a quick memory lane of how it all got to this, well, it all started after 2023 charade when Foolbara became the governor, Werey Wike, who kind of like wrote out the script, also controlled the State House of Assembly, the local government area. So when Foolbara said he won't probably follow whatever agreement they had, it was time to unleash the structure on him. So initially, he pretended to probably add some fight in him until it all ended up as just a simple braggadocio, as Werey Wike received proper federal backing with the judiciary on his side. It didn't take long before they put together an arrangement to get him removed. Foolbara, with his own boys, arranged the bombing of the State House of Assembly, that if the assemblymen were unable to sit, they won't be able to carry out any impeachment given to them by Werey Wike. In the midst of all of that, luck just came the way of Foolbara. What happened? The powerful group of Werey Wike, they misfired. They decamped to APC. Now he leveraged on that. Okay, so they denied, and their court affidavit that showed that they've joined APC, video evidence and everything, disappeared in the courtroom, and the court said no, they never decamped. However, things got that bad, right? That Werey Wike seems to have been so like boxed out completely when Foolbara installed his men as local government administrators in one of what they call the most peaceful local government elections. Now, this aggravated Werey Wike and his group very much more. So they pressed the destructive button. So in the process, they said Tifnumbu, who initially offered a peace deal that was more or less like to confirm that Foolbara is just an houseboy to Werey Wike, something the elders of Rivers State felt after that meeting. So he reneged, he backed out of that. Although he said he didn't, they were the ones who backed out, right? So this time around, it was the chance for Tifnumbu to wield the big stick. I bet illegally, right? It is illegal. So he wielded the big stick by suspending Foolbara. And he said, I did that to save you because your boss, your political godfather, wanted you out, like gone. And he would achieve it if we let him go with that. So what happened is that you go on suspension. We work out the rest of the deal later. Now, everything denied Werey Wike has been restored. He is in charge. Okay? So, but I don't think it is over yet. Because Foolbara is expected to join APC before December. Okay? And that is kind of like the rumor. And obviously he is going to. When he was suspended, 11 state PDP governors, is that even the right sentence? Anyway, 11 PDP governors, meaning 11 state governors of PDP, they initiated or instituted a case against his suspension. And Nigeria court, the Supreme Court of Nigeria knew, or any other court that was supposed to hear the case, never assigned the case to any judge until the expiration of the state of emergency. So right now, except the one we are aware of, nobody knows what the future holds for Foolbara. And like somebody said, it is not over. It is not over. Okay, we shall see. Now, so we're going to start from last night. Ibas and it's a statewide broadcast to Rivers people, my Rivers people.
My dear citizens of Rivers State, it is with gratitude in my heart and humility in my spirit that I address you today for the final time as administrator of our beloved state. 6 months ago, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, entrusted me with the solemn responsibility of steering Rivers State through an extraordinary moment in its history. Today, I can say with conviction that by the grace of God and through our collective effort, the mandate has been accomplished. Law and order have been restored. Local government elections have been conducted, and chairmen elected by the people now serve in office. Statutory boards and commissions have been reconstituted and are performing their duties. The state budget has been passed by the National Assembly, providing a legitimate fiscal framework for governance and development. These are milestones of progress that belong to all of us because they reflect the resilience of a people determined never to let their state slip into paralysis. We must be mindful, however, that statecraft is not a destination. It has no terminus. And even the most advanced nations or societies must constantly renew themselves because governance is a living process. Rivers State will continue to require vigilance, sacrifice, and leadership anchored on one enduring truth, that government exists to protect the people and to promote their welfare and well-being. One of the enduring lessons of this season is that the exercise of power without restraint can cripple institutions, and rivalry without dialogue clearly endangers democracy. Let this chapter therefore stand as a permanent reminder that the health of our polity depends not on who wins or loses, but on how political actors manage their differences and on the strength of the institutions we preserve and the unity we nurture. As I reflect on this assignment, I do so with deep appreciation. I have met outstanding men and women across the state bureaucracy, civil and public servants, diligent in their duties and devoted to our state. I have benefited from the guidance and wise counsel of elders and statesmen who spoke truth at difficult moments. I am grateful to my family, whose support never wavered, and to the young aides who labored day and night beside me to deliver on this mandate. I salute my former colleagues, the men and women in uniform, whose courage and sacrifice remain the bedrock of our peace and security. Their dedication to service is unmatched, and Rivers State owes them a debt of gratitude. Above all, I thank you, the people of Rivers State. Resilient, patient, and hopeful. You stood firm through the storm and believed in the possibility of renewal. This journey was never about one man. It was about restoring dignity to governance and giving you back what is rightfully yours. Now, as I hand back the reins of leadership to His Excellency Governor Similaye Fubara, I do so with confidence and respect. I urge all Rivers people to support him wholeheartedly, because leadership and followership is a shared responsibility. No matter how competent and no matter how clear a vision may be, it can only come to fruition and thrive with the active support of citizens.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
I won't really blame him. But do you know what they did to Rivers people? They carried out a political haste, right? Economic haste, and at the same time, the entrenchment of what you can say an outlandish, sort of like a tyranny. I made that up. You know, just joined out the words so you understand what I'm trying to get at. Like something that should never happen. And I'm not exonerating all of them, because it is the political criminality that brought about these rogues closer to power. And it is what Nigeria does anyway. But you know what they did? When they removed the Foolbara, they said it didn't present the, what do you call it? It didn't present the status of assembly. So it didn't present the state budget to the status of assembly. And it was only passed by the 4 members who didn't decamp. So therefore, he's spending money without appropriation. So it got removed. And they removed the local government election, so the local government elected members that he conducted, because they said other parties are not allowed to participate. So, which means their money shouldn't be given to them as well, given to him as well. But immediately, not with any court ruling though, okay? The court didn't say, don't give him the money, give it to a sole administrator. No. The court said that the status of assembly should be presented the budget. And they were in the process of presenting that when the whole thing changed. Oh, sorry, the assembly didn't show up after the judgment. So what happened? They said National Assembly would have to kind of, so before that, Ibas got all the money they withheld, that Tinubu withheld, the same day that it was announced that as the sole administrator. The day he walked straight into Rivers State, Ibas walked in with at least over 50 billion naira. You get that now? And I'm talking about, this is just like the money that were withheld for like about a month. The state allocation, this allocation, 13% derivation, and local government fund, they released everything to him. I think the local government fund actually took several months. Yeah, it took several months before they, and that was why I think he went to go and conduct local government elections so that he could get the money, but they discarded all of them. So Ibas got all this money, and the people of Rivers State said it was like they put governance on hold in Rivers State. You know what that means, right? They were paying salaries, of course. Pensioners and other workers who were not paid were indeed kind of like the bottom barrel, like, no, don't talk about them. They make so much money, you will say, with the kind of system you run, right? So right now, I heard that the State Assembly are now probing, I don't know how true that is though, but I'll find out. So they are probing the 6-month state of emergency and money. So there could be some alarm very soon too. Wike got all he wanted, no doubt. Foolbara has been humbled. So whatever he thought he had or he swallowed at that time to challenge the, the man that made him governor, right? He possibly won't dare to do that again. And reminding everybody as well that this is going to be a precedent now. Yeah, this is going to be a precedent now. So you may wake up tomorrow, because the way they are, if Nigeria continues, or sure you get, so the power shift, and somebody, right, will just remove a state governor. This time, it may not even be a state governor from that part. Remove a state, like a Lagos state governor. Or remove your Kano state governor, state of emergency, which is illegal. Because even when you declare a state of emergency in any state, as ruled though by their own Supreme Court, it's already ruled. This is one that they decided to start another case that the Supreme Court chooses not to even look into it for over 6 months now. Anyway, right? So the same Supreme Court ruled that whenever a state of emergency is declared, they can't remove the governor. You can't remove the status of assembly. And yeah, you may strip them of some certain control and all that, but you can't remove them. You don't have that power as president. But if nobody just did so as a president, just that when it is done in reverse, you can tell how loud the noise will be. So yeah, today, people in Rivers State, early as 7 a.m., they were already trooping to the government house to go and witness the return of their governor, right? And they were there for several hours. At the point, nobody, people were expected to start seeing his own videos too, like, okay, that's him. They didn't see any. Even when he was brought in later, right? He didn't make kind of much, entrance. But at the point, people were feeling like Abioti abdicating, like maybe he's not even going to show up for the job, right? So earlier at the government house in Rivers State, this Anyway, that's just some of the faces. Then Ibas himself, of course, he left last night. There's a clip for that.
Yes, clear. Yes, clear. What else? Yeah, give me.
If you remember 6 months ago when he came to the town, to the state, he was led to the state by the soldiers, the military. And that's the same kind of ending they had to shoot to. And that is pretty much like that's the end you're going to see of him. You won't see him again. And he can go on and enjoy his own loot, illegally acquired wealth. God just bless him, they will say. Once he gets back to his state, he's going to go and do a Thanksgiving. You see his wife, she's the most happiest. Ibas is like, the military, pretending to be looking like that, like you sure you get. But the woman, she knows, say, man, we've had our own fear of the national cake. And they probably won't forget it. No, they can't. They can't even forget it, can they? But the Rivers people, well, so Foolbara showed up. He is believed to be in this vehicle that arrived at the government house later this evening, or afternoon rather. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm trying to put something up as well because Werey Wike was on their TV this evening. But prior to that, he was in Abuja. Give me a sec. So Foolbara showed up, I believe, and that is aim back in office, and there's not been so much, heard from him. But with a Wike, we have heard from him. First, upon his return from London, where he was said to, to have received some medical care or what have you, he denied that, and he said his enemies were at work. His enemies were the ones who were spreading the rumor that he was ill or he was unwell or he was fine. Then later this evening, when he was with Sheung, talking about this state of emergency, he's already reacting enough to kind of like show to you the role he played and, the role he can still play as well. So with a Wike, we could have allowed the state of emergency to continue because I heard some people talking. What were they saying? Wike?
Happening in Nigeria. I must commend Mr. President for lifting the emergency rule in Rivers. So many people have become senior advocates because of the emergency rule. So many people became constitutional experts because of this emergency rule. So many people have become policy analysts because of the so-called emergency rule. For me, and I believe the majority of Rivers people are happy with what Mr. President has done. And what did he do? What was the basis of declaring a state of emergency? The basis of declaring a state of emergency was that one, you remember that the Supreme Court said there was no governance or there was no government in Rivers. Because as at that time, it was only one arm of government that was functioning, being the executive, as if it was functioning. The legislature was not in existence. Again, at the local government level, the Supreme Court set aside the purported election that was held, that it was not in consonance with the law. I remember before now, Supreme Court had already said, look, you cannot have a caretaker committee in the local government because by Section 7 of the Nigerian Constitution just amended guarantees the existence of local government. And therefore, if there is no local government, they cannot derive funding for the federation account. And Mr. President has also said so many other things that culminated to the fact that, look, if we don't take these actions, then we have a serious crisis. For me, I will want to appreciate and thank Mr. President for taking that book set. And again, remember, the governor also came out to say, look, but for Mr. President's intervention, it would have been a different thing by now. It would have been a different ballgame.
But you were not happy that time.
Yeah,
You wanted the government
as a politician,
Yeah.
as a politician, yes. But again, for the interest of the state, I mean, Mr. President is my boss. He looks at it. Forget about yes, you're working with me. Forget about yes, the governor may have infringed or may have violated certain provisions of the law that is impeachable, committed impeachable offense. We want peace. And the only way we can bring peace is, look, let us declare state of emergency and then see how things can stabilize. And of course, that led to the meetings of my humble self, the governor, the assembly, the National Assembly, and other key stakeholders, which we all met and agreed on how to move forward. And to the glory of God, as I speak to you, peace returned. As I speak to you, as at yesterday, I spoke with the governor.
Oh, you called, or he called you, or you called him?
It doesn't matter who called, but what is important is that we spoke. We spoke yesterday, and he told me, and I told him I was leaving that night to come back, and he told me he was leaving this morning. So I can tell you, we believe by the grace of God, peace has come. And look at what the assembly did today to set the tone. You can see peace, you can say, look, we are prepared for the interests of the state. Let's move forward. The only thing I can always say, I was watching on television today, is that there are people who are natural crisis builders who think that they can only benefit when there's crisis. If, for us, for example, if we don't want this state of emergency to be lifted, we would have done one or two things to make sure that, no, let the state of emergency continue. No, for the interest of the state. I've been discussing with the government happening in Nigeria.
Werey Wike. So Tifnumbu has given him what he wanted, and some people who want the crisis to continue, probably those who are saying the state of emergency is illegal and it is a dent on your democracy and all that. Werey Wike mad gone. Because you know what happened after that? I mean, before that. Okay, before we even go to that, let's take his further statement on Foolbara on this matter. And we're going to go to Abuja after that. Oh, sorry, we're going to go back to what he said in Abuja, where he said Tifnumbu should have assassinated Sowore, or Sowore calling Tifnumbu a criminal. We'll come back to that. Foolbara.
If, For us, for example, if we don't want this state of emergency to be lifted, we would have done one or two things to make sure that no, let the state of emergency continue. No, for the interest of the state. I've been discussing with the governor, we've been talking from time to time, and he has assured me, look, we can't go back now. This is what we have told Mr. President, and Mr. President has taken enough time, energy to say, look, he wants the state to be stabilized. And for me, anything that has to bring peace, I'm for it.
Have you forgiven Governor Fubara?
I told you we have been speaking. I don't speak to a man I've not forgiven. I don't play this kind of game.
You've left the past now, and you're focused on the future.
That's what I'm trying to say. This is I'm not a politician that says one thing here, I do a different thing tomorrow. If I tell you we're quarreling. So if I say everything is over, it's over. It's not left for you, for me. And all our team, we're like, look, you heard what Mr. Speaker said. Look, we have to move forward. Mr. Governor, send a list of commissioners. Let the state move forward. But all we are saying is that there are people who don't like peace. I was watching people today, the way they twist the law upside down. You were here when people were saying illegality of conducting local government election. Ask them, what did they do? What did they do to make sure that illegality does not stand? But they come out and begin, when you see them pontificating, when you see them shouting, you think that there's something they can do. Nothing, just to cause crisis. And when I've said, enough is enough. President has done quite a lot for us. Peace has come. The democratic governance and the local government, assuming there was no local government election. So, assuming there was no local government election. And this emergency rule was lifted. And they cannot access funds on the federation account. What will happen at the local government level? Crisis. Workers will not be paid. Schools will not go on. Hospitals will not go on. So people should look at these things very well, not just what you think. And for Christ's sake, look at the matter. The court did not stop the election. The court said, no, you can't. Because they have no local standard. Even if you have, you're out of time. They just shout and go to television and shout. I don't believe that. I believe that, look, if you love this state, if you believe for the interest of our nation, that look, the democracy must stabilize for us to move on. You cannot, there's nothing big for something. I am the one that goes, okay, to hell, let it be crisis. So what? But if...
Did you hear that? There is the one that could say, no, let the crisis continue because he is the one that Foolbara offended. Now he's let go. Why are these people going on TV, turning the law upside down by calling it illegality? Sole administrator conducted local government elections. Sole administrator got over 1.5 trillion naira budget passed. And sole administrator has been receiving tens of billions of money, including loans. So who is going to probe the 6 months of the sole administrator? Or shouldn't it be probed of how the money that got into Rivers State in that 6 months? You know, say we'll go find out, yeah? We will find out soon. How much money entered Rivers State in 6 months? How much of that money went into payment of salaries and what have you? And how much of that money is unaccounted for? And how much is it in total? We're going to see that. We're going to hear that soon. But who went to court that stopped the local government funds from being given to them after they lost out the control of the local government? Let me give you a bit of a background, just quickly, right? So prior to the state of emergency, prior to Foolbara conducting local government elections, right? When Werey Wike was leaving as governor, more than 70% of those who were with him, for example, 100% of those who were the local government chairmen, vice chairmen, councillors, 100% of them, the day Werey Wike was leaving, 100% of them remained. Do you get that now? And simply because they were elected, of course. So they remained. Over 70% of Werey Wike's appointees across board, including commissioners, they remained with Foolbara. So that's how much Wike and all the National Assembly members from Rivers State, they were with Werey Wike 100%. So it was like in full charge, right? Then their tenure came to an end. The local government chairman came to an end. The status of assembly now did something that was never done before. They sat, they amended the state's local government law, which gave the power to appoint the caretaker, to appoint the electoral board for the state to conduct local government elections. So they amended that. When they did the amendment, the governor was supposed to sign it. They vetoed him. So therefore, the law existed, even though the governor didn't sign it, but it's still law. So they now relied on that. They now extended the tenure of the local government, who are the ones loyal to Werey Wike, because if their tenure came to an end, they will appoint caretaker chairmen. So instead of appointing caretaker chairmen, the assembly now extended the tenure of the local government administrators, extended by a year without the governor. Now the governor, relying on the particular part of their law that allowed him to dissolve the local government once their tenure came to an end, he now relied on that by removing them from office, appointing caretakers. So the clash then was that law no day again. You don't have that power. How can a governor not have the power to say, no, you don't have that power anymore? So that's part of the clash. Now, Werey Wike's men are in charge of the local government administration. They are now like in charge of, important part of this. So they went to court when they got removed. And they told the court that the court should stop Foolbara. They should stop the local government allocations. So Foolbara was like, okay, because I appointed caretaker, okay, fine. I'm going to go and conduct election. Conduct of local government election is the sole responsibility of the state government. That's why they've been rigging that easily, right? So in his effort to go and fulfill the part of the law that ordinarily would have stopped these local government allocations. So as he went to court, as he went on to go and conduct local government elections, God delivered judgment after the elections and said he had no such power. The local government election he conducted was illegal. So which part of the law did the Supreme Court relied on to say a governor had no power to conduct local government elections? You know what I'm saying, Abi? Would anybody tell Sonwe could, okay, maybe they can't tell Sonwe, but could anybody tell any state governor, any other state governors in Nigeria, right, that they can conduct local government elections? And if they conducted one, they can throw it out. This is part of all the nonsense that took place in that Rivers, right? So then a sole administrator that was never elected, that doesn't even exist in any part of your law, got appointed. Now, Supreme Court is now angry that that person that was not elected, had no status of assembly, is spending the money. Like, that one could spend it. Wow. So Werey Wike is now saying that Tinubu saved them, because if Tinubu didn't do what he did, Rivers State will not receive local government fund. And if they don't receive their fund, there will be crisis. Who started the crisis? Who initiated all of that? And all for what? All for the political arrangement they had. Abi, that then, got broken or something. and the millions of people are to be subjected to this kind of a trauma. So let's go to Abuja. He returned back from London, I think, today, after being away for nearly 10 days. He's been away since Tifnumbu left too. So he came back, and Werey Wike took the moment, okay, to send jibes to his enemies, imaginary enemies. And this is where he said Tifnumbu should have assassinated, if it was another place, they would have assassinated Sowore for calling Tifnumbu a criminal. I didn't know this thing is actually that serious. So, about people, they write many things about Tifnumbu. I don't understand why this one that, Sowore has said a lot of things about Tifnumbu. A lot. Why is this particular one makes them so riled up? Everybody's reacting to it. They wrote Facebook and Twitter to help them delete Showore's post. The post that he called Tifnumbu a criminal. Do you get that now? Like, why are they all that then assassinate him? Werey Wike. Yeah. Listen to this.
Each time I travel, I go with files. I go with CFOs to make sure that the work is not being delayed. But this time around, I said, whatever it is, I must travel. I must. And I must travel without any file. So if the whole place will crumble, let it crumble. Because one has to be alive before you satisfy other people. You know, this job we are doing, there are people waiting for you. The day you drop, they will announce another person the next day. So you must make sure while you are working, you also take time out and relax. So I said, let me travel. Before I know it, I was here that they said they were sick. I heard they said they have heart attack. God will continue to help them to have heart attack. It is my prayer I will sign their condolences. It is my prayer very soon I will write a letter, we are sorry, we loved him, but take heart, it's God that gives, it's God that has taken. You see, the level of this country where we are, we play politics with everything. How somebody can sit down, just all kinds of things. Where the person saw me, I don't know. The hospital he saw me, I do not know. And yet, we're all happy reading it in social media. This is a country where somebody who was social media will say Mr. President is a criminal. Nothing will happen. Nothing. You say all kinds of things you want to say, nothing will happen. No matter how you see people criticize Trump, have you ever seen any American citizen on the social media, on the public, say, look, our president is a criminal? Have you ever had that? But here, anybody can wake up in the morning and abuse president, and we're happy. You are lucky you have a president that believes in the rule of law. You are lucky. Continue to be lucky. There are those you will meet and you will be lucky again. Diaspora called me that people said they would demonstrate, that we are paying attention to roads we are not paying attention to health. I could directly listen. Demonstration is allowed everywhere. Everywhere. Nobody would blackmail me. Nobody will stop me from doing what I think is right and do it at the right time. Each time I travel, I go with files. I go with CFOs.
Nuisance, Lele.
I told you, the way they behave, right? It is like they are doing you a favor. You know, Nigeria criminal politicians, they feel like they are doing you a favor. You will watch them from rag-wearing political touts, a loser. And then they will just become multi-billionaires over the years simply because they have access to loot the public fund. And suddenly, you will become irritant. You become sudden enemies of theirs, wishing them dead, wishing them evil. But God loves them so much that your evil cannot happen to them. Then whenever they construct road, they want you to go down on your knees and kiss their shoes in appreciation with gratitude to say, thank you. They will say, we will even do this one. You are not grateful. And that's exactly how ordinary men, ordinary human men, turn themselves to demigods. Demigods that look at other men are so lower to them that they are like, you are lucky. You are lucky that I didn't want to crush you and deal with you saying all the nonsense about me. Somebody living off at the public fund. That is exactly how the Nigerian politicians see you. Like, did you say something like that to the minister? Did you call Wike Werey? Baba, that's too big. If you want the DSS will come out. You know, like, they have terrorized their people so much that, Baba, anyone who decided not to be like that, like, you know, you're just a man like me, people go down, they fear for you. I say, Rector Scott is gone. You know, that kind of thing. You go out there and they're like, fuck you. You know, you're dragging with somebody and you didn't know that this person is, okay, I don't think you wouldn't know. I'm trying to make a scenario where you're arguing with Werey Wike and you didn't know that that's Werey Wike. And like, here you get in a bar. I was just somewhere, but I'm like, no, there's no way. Because you're already going to see different security guys with guns, which is what makes them feel so powerful. You get that? Because they have these guys with guns. And those ones are always like, hey, everybody move. And that's how they feel. Like, can you say that to his face? Can you tell Tifnubu to his face that he's a criminal? All of you will just go on social media, be talking and talking. Why do you think a Nigerian will say that to you? Because he's been traumatized all his life. And they told him it is called home training. But they've traumatized him all his life. So if you decided to see, if you see a politician, and you decided to vent your rage, anger in front of him, now people around you will begin to say, we have been warning you, you and this your mouth, you and this your mouth. It's crazy. And that's exactly how the likes of Werey Wike sees it. Somebody will open his mouth. How many of you know what they call Trump? He even used somebody. If you want to use anybody, you should have used someone like Putin. See, how many times would you see Russians say something about Putin like, you go use Trump? Trump. If people have the chance to exercise themselves like Americans expresses themselves when they are upset about anything and everything. And there's, you see, every day, Americans, they always have something to be angry about. There's always something. And it is always something that is linked to their government. You get that now? If Nigerians should have just 10% of such freedom of expression like you have in America, people like Werey Wike will probably be dead by now or be in prison. Seriously. Poverty in Nigeria won't be this massive. Corruption won't be this mad. Do you get what I mean? Okay, let me give you an example. In America, where this issue of, abortion or not, pro-life, pro-abortion and all that is a very serious stuff. And there are tens, if not hundreds of millions of Americans who have these divergent views on this stuff. And every president that by any chance his position is either to the left or to the right, there will be reaction. If his position is to the left, the right will react. If his position is to the right, the left will react. And they will react in their millions, that they will shut down states. You're going to see them for CNN and all that now. Massive, massive, massive turnout. If you have such in Nigeria where you can gather over 500,000 in Abuja, more than 1 million or 2 million people in Lagos, and that's a constant thing. Politicians in Nigeria won't take you for a ride because you would have protested against insecurity. And that alone could have caused change of government. If millions of people trooped out all over the country, like they do in America, it would have led to change of government, or it would have forced these rogues to do something. On the issue of power, you would have seen millions and millions of people turn out every now and then. If they did, they could have threatened either military or civilian, you probably would have had power today. Seriously. You probably would have had a process where you have your own constitution. If the people says, you know what, why are we even using this useless constitution? We want new one. And people they troop out like that in their millions. So Werey Wike is using Trump that everybody is. See, there are media houses in America, right? That 80% of their production content is the criticism of Trump, Trump's family, Trump's wife, Trump's children, probing this, saying things that you can't even say. And not just saying, making up things, videos, stuff, and everything to convince their followers that this is who Trump is. And nobody, you will never see where they will say, are they, except those who made direct threat to the president. That's when you get to see their CIA, you have the FBI, you have what have you. They will come straight to you. But you are calling Trump a criminal. In fact, calling him a criminal, people are calling him ex-convict. You don't understand. Tinubu is a drug baron, a drug dealer with evidence. Do you understand? So they compare to, come on, man. But they know who they are speaking to, Nigerians. Did you know where he said, can they say that about Trump? Have you heard anything? Americans say something like this about Trump? And the Dodoyos who are there said, no, because that's what he wanted to hear. He called a president criminal. So what's going to happen? Sure.
We're all happy reading it in social media. This is a country where somebody who has social media will say Mr. President is a criminal. Nothing will happen. Nothing. You say all kinds of things you want to say, nothing will happen. No matter how you see people criticize Trump, have you ever seen any American citizen on the social media, on the public, say, look, our president is a criminal? Have you ever had that? But yeah, anybody can wake up in the morning and abuse president, and we're happy. You are lucky you have a president that believes in the rule of law. You are lucky. Continue to be lucky. There are those you will meet and you won't be lucky again. And I tell people, we're all happy reading it in social media. This is a con.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please, forget it.
Since when I born you never seen this kind of abuse before. Turubu, I must abuse you. Turubu, number 1, Ogu Okiyopa. Turubu number 2, Ogu Okiyoma. Turubu number 3, Ogu Okiyo your children. Turubu number 4, Ogu go bury all your family. Turubu is a god to you. A god to you. Turubu is a god to you. And Wausa.
So what are you going to do to us? Send the DSS. Have you sent who? If Tinubu want to be a king, then he should probably go to Guinea, retrace his own lineage, and become a king in somewhere in Guinea. But to be the president of a country, where millions of people have been pushed further into poverty, and they are even saying it is their fault. Everybody go abuse and curse Tinubu. If tomorrow, Junaid Mohammed is your president, and people they go through they go they curse him. If after that, if now Mbok, Utwak, now your president, and things get on the way people are like suffering and smiling, they go curse him. For thinking that Tinubu is what? People's father, the father of the country. That's what they usually do. They will say, he's the father of the country. These sycophants, court jesters, you are like a father. You are our father. You are father of the country. Father of where? Is the president of your country. And it's got a job to do. It's action. It's inactions. They affect lives. And in many cases, right, millions of lives. So if he wants to be a king somewhere, they should go and buy a kingdom for him. Maybe they should go to, what's that place they went again before Brazil that time? St. Lucia. They could probably pump, the sea sand and build him an island. And they call him a king there. Right? A demented call somebody will be say they're supposed to make him the class captain of the care home in Badagry, where he's supposed to stay with elderly people like himself, who are going to be spending the rest of their lives with their grandchildren. That same Tinubu is in Old Rock, and those who wanted him there for their own sake, in order to they are actually doing it. Looting left, right, and center, rolling out a fake data, telling you that you will still feel it. It is like it's like this joke. It's not really a joke, but it's a joke. It's funny, right? Where someone bought supposed alcohol drink, all right, and on the bottle, it says 40% alcohol. And it was more or less like, okay, we're going to share the drink as I drink. So you realize that you drank a bottle. a bottle of alcohol, 40%, and it's not, you are not drunk. Then you ask this person, I said, man, I'm not feeling these things. I said, don't worry. You will feel it later. When the breeze blows you, you will feel that, if I drink a bottle of a Converse or NSC, right, 40% or so, I'll be dead. You're like, I'm not feeling it. So I said, no, you will still feel it. That's exactly what Ifnubu and his gang are doing to Nigerians. Oh, look at it, inflation is coming down. Oh, look at the Naira is stable at 1,500. Oh, look at, say, but all these things, we don't feel anything. See, local governments are getting more money. The states are getting more, other stuff. And like, okay, they all look good on paper. Go and hold your governor responsible, as if to say me and you, we figure ourselves and march to the governor's house and say, Governor, the money you are collecting, come and give us account. In that contraption, no. But they will tell you, go and meet your governor. Say, that is why you're not feeling it. Because everything na genje. But don't worry. Now here we did. When Bokwari was busy, right, trading off the destiny of millions of Nigerians, and I was raising alarm too. But I was like, it was like, no, it's none of your business. You're just somebody who didn't wish Nigeria well. I'm sorry, Baba, if wishes were horses, the Baba riders go. Beggars go ride. Oh, you don't get it. How many things you wished for that you got? How many things you worked for that you got? Compare the two scenarios. And then you understand what I mean, that wishes don't do anything. Wishes are just wishes. Wishes. Fairy tales. The wishes can be dreams, and dreams still need some effort, Abby. So I wish Nigeria to break up tomorrow. And somebody's like, oh my God, why would you say that? Why would you want Nigeria to break up? Instead of us to be praying for Nigeria, say, why are you so worked up? I just wished. Say, but don't let us be wishing bad things for our country. Say, you are Wabi. Who is our country? Then you just wish that Nigeria will not break now. Oh, how I wish there is no corruption in Nigeria. Would that make you happy? Or I would just look like a pure clown to you? Like, my going to talk better, Jerry, when you wish there is no corruption. And I wish that they take stop corruption. So no, I wish. Wishes don't do anything. Take a look at the actions of these rogues. Not what they say, but what they are doing. It is actually what they are doing that is impacting on our lives positively and negatively. Yeah. And that is why you have to pay more attention to what they are doing than what they are saying. You get it? Of course you do. Now, let me show you something else. Yesterday, when there was a fire at the Lagos Island, okay, where those houses, those multi-story buildings were like, the source or the cause of the inferno, the fire, is yet to be ascertained. But it's been confirmed that about 6 people were actually were killed in that fire. In fact, 4 were killed in the same building. I have this image. So aftermath, somebody who was in charge of the building structural something agency in Lagos, the leader was there today. And not surprisingly, right, is the same guy who was behind the demolished houses, properties in Oworonshoki. He had this to say to the people whose properties were lost. I think they were being blamed too. Why we told you not to build this and that. Right. They go silent.
If you attach the extension to your building and while removing it, it affects the building, the whole building will go. And I'm telling you now, tell all the people that you have collected money from that are using those extensions that they should move away. You have the deadline till Friday. Because the next thing you'll be saying that Lapa came in around 12 midnight. I'm not here 12 midnight though. I'm not here 12 midnight. I'm telling you now, and all of you are listening. I'm going to come here in the evening on Friday. I'm going to start cooling down. Because it can be causing inconvenience to Lagos State. And you go call them BB now. Láàárín Èkó lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta iná mélòó ló ti jó. Ìbẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọ sọ fún àtàbí lọ́lẹ́wé. Àbẹ́ bá ọmọ tó lọ́lẹ́wé ni. Are they happy coming here? How many of them come and see you here? Àwọn lọ́jà gan they cannot stay here. Wọ́n máa lọ park in there, everybody will walk down. Ibi tẹ́tí ìrajà wà lọ, ṣé bíbẹ̀ ṣe ríre ni? I'm telling you now, before you say that pé àwọn ọmọ olè wá kó yín lẹ́rù, government official ló jí yín lẹ́rù. You have from now till Friday evening to remove all your goods if it's in extension. Because when we start removing, there is no stopping. And all those buildings attached to the fire, all of them are going to go. And any building that is blocking the tractor, they are going to pull it down. Any building that is blocking the tractor, are going to pull it down. You can't be wasting taxpayers' money. If you attach the extension to your building, and while removing it, it affects the building, the whole building will go. And I'm telling you now, tell all the people that you have collected money from that are using those extensions that they should move away. You have the deadline till Friday. Because the next thing you'll be saying that Lapa came in around 12 midnight. I'm not here 12 midnight though. I'm not here 12 midnight. I'm telling you now, and all of you are listening. I'm going to come here.
I don't even know if they have anything left. Some of those buildings or those shop stores after the fire. Sorry about that. So they are telling them all to leave now. So what I said in there when the sound was too high, right, was that they're asking you to leave now. I beg, leave. Oh. Park wherever you can still park. Then I just was like, no, I don't think there is anything really going to be left in some of the buildings after that fire. I don't think so. You know, if you haven't seen the video online, you should go and look at it. It's so horrible. People were jumping down from 4th, 5th, 6th floor of a burning building. For those who lost their lives, these four people kind of made it to the social media earlier. So they were confirmed to have died in one of the buildings. They are staff working in one of them, and they are FIRS staff, I think. Do you get that now? So 4 of them lost their lives. And from what I heard as well, there are even more than that. In Tejo Show Market in Lagos, so their own, the traders there took to the street to protest what they call the extortion, an exorbitant extortion of them by their landlord or the market management. So what are those extortions? So part of them is that they are paying for sanitation and they are paying for electricity. And for years now, they've actually not really enjoyed any electricity. There's no electricity to the market per se, or probably it's not working. But they felt like they've been paying. Not just that, waste management in the market is like horrible. But they are also being charged, every stall, every trader there. So for hours today, they protested. But as usual, the police were there to shoot at them. And they did shoot at them. Canisters though, right? In Lagos, the Joshua Market. Did you hear that before?
chawalem. Boys want chawalem. Abina, I know which one I see pressure. That was some go by. I don't hide the money. No, now your pocket too. Okay, also people for don't lost like this.
Someone said that shit, Wala know too much. I know. And that is why on Mayegun's diary political, just so you understand, sometimes if you have forgotten what is the purpose of all of this, like if you are struggling to understand, why are you even on Mayegun's diary political? Now, I don't know, probably you found your own reason. Many have. I can give you an idea what this platform does every time my camera is on, is to show to you the state of Nigeria in its raw form. Sometimes they will bring back memories for so many of you who have been away, far away, or been away for a long time, like myself. This is what keeps me more connected, because it is real people who are struggling with bad infrastructures, despite the criminal politicians giving themselves, a pat on the back that they have done well. People just want to criticize. So you get to see the areas, you get to see the people, you get to see what they are facing, insecurity, poor infrastructure, police brutality. Then you also get to see the politicians. What are their priorities? Do you understand? Like, okay, you want something to be priority, like, why can't they just do this? Man, I don't even understand. Why can't they just do that? So on Mayegun's diary political, it is to help you understand what is going on in that place from the politician's side, from the people's side, and you can be able to juxtapose the two or more in understanding the contraption. Now, what do you do with that information finally? Well, there is something called right now on the ground, and it is called mind revolution. Okay, and what is that? It is a bit of knowledge, kind of like transfer from the most obscure places, the list of the places you can probably expect where you can be helped mindly, right, in preparing for something that is greater. And when that happens, you will be in the right state of mind, right, to possibly take advantage of it. So let me explain that quickly. The idea of politicians, right, using tribalism, religion, and all of that stuff, they are as old as, I think, human existence, so to say. Okay. However, when such is now being, when such is pretty much like counterproductive, that it's made people more like poorer, divided, but the criminal politicians are richer and all that. So what you can do is that you can put a wedge between that sort of like, system, put a wedge by radicalizing the minds of the people who are potential victims of these criminals. And if we are able, right, to have this level of mental mind revolution where people won't have to look at things basically from the lens of tribe, ethnic, religion, and all that stuff, which is to the advantage of the rogues, the criminal politicians from everywhere. So once you begin to have a sensible population, right, that are no longer easily swayed, bamboozled, brainwashed by rogues whose intention is to steal from you and steal your dream and the dream of your own children and your own children's children. So they won't give you tribalism and all this nonsense while they party. So once you can have a sizable number of the population whose mind can't be swayed easily that way, then when the collapse of these rogues will happen, right, they won't be replaced by another set of rogues who wants to use the same, do you get what I mean? No? Don't worry, you will someday. Okay? You will. However, the ladies that invested so much in Nigeria, real estate, Lagos to be precise, and they have been everywhere. Kimberly and others, she's their leader. She's from Chicago. You probably know her very well. They invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably millions, in the axis. And when Devulumayi started his Lagos-Calabar highway, right, they became victims of those whose lands they encroached on, and compensation never paid. She's been campaigning all over the place. She's become kind of like, known for advocacy for other victims who are mostly from abroad. I don't know if she's married to a Nigerian, but she's an African American, a Black American, right, who believes that Africa is their home. And when they chose a place to possibly build their future homes, it was in Lagos. And that is now history. Probably never going to happen. But she's not giving up. And she's not alone. In a recent public engagement, she said they were calling her Akata, that she should go back to her country, stuff like that. Then what happened to her money? Well, Devulumayi would have that to answer, not me. But here is Kimberly, brethren.
Happy I can talk. See, thank you, sir, for even answering me this. That insult has irritated my life. They have insulted. They even went as far as inboxing my children. That's when the Chicago gonna come out of me. I'm so serious. They have insulted. Yes, they insulted me viciously. That they even call me Okata. Yes, I should stay in my country. I'm an actress. That my own sister here paid me to fly almost 10,000. So why would I fly? Now, mind you, in economy, by the way, not first class, in economy, almost 10,000 miles away from my 3 kids. My son has nonverbal autism. My mother, Apostle Deborah Stark, care for my kids each time I have to run back and forth to Nigeria. I have entered Nigeria 20 times. Wow. Nobody paid for me. I can bring my bank statement, and he probably gonna be mad at me. My own travel agent, he probably gonna see like this ghetto. Mr. Martin, I had to take payments to pay for my tickets back and forth to Nigeria. I have spent thousands of dollars of my own money. She didn't give me nothing. Do you understand? She didn't pay me to come and pay. Why would I cry in front of the nation with a bad wig on, sitting up there and to lie? This really happened to me. This really happened to me. I'm a black girl from Chicago. I was born at Jackson Park Hospital. And I found myself...
They also called you a Nigerian.
They also... Aha! God bless you. I'm about to clarify that too, sir. They said I'm a Nigerian. I'm not no Nigerian. My mama is biracial. My grandfather is white. And my grandmother is West Indies and Creole. God rest her soul. So we don't have no... My dad is a straight up black American man. Okay? So I'm not a Nigerian. The only people not Nigerian is the kids I had for you all. Okay? My baby daddy is a Okay. No, I need to get this out because y'all, it made me cry. I'm sick of the insults that I was getting nationwide. They was coming in my inbox calling me a liar, and I'm saved. I got my own church. My church members was calling me saying, Apostle Kim, what do you see to this? They calling you a liar. I am not a liar. I am an investor. I'm one of the major investors. And I stand by this warrior. Now, this is the real fighter and the warrior. Do y'all understand? I would not do that. So for Abuja, Ikorodu, wherever they talking about, Dr. Kimberly is not a liar. Those was real tears. I'm always crying. I cried on the way here today. Seriously. Because I'm passionate about Nigeria. I don't know why. Other Americans look at me and say, why are you so in love with this country? I said, because that's where God sent me. God sent me to you all's land. I started in 4th grade. My teacher, 85 years old, but she's still alive, and she could tell y'all the story that I was so captivated by Africa. So,
put in a comment on what she said. Those people that said that, how do they know my subscribers? That is a simple question. Nobody knows who, so it's just a gimmicks from some subscribers. I even heard that some of them are saying that that when the money comes, they will not be paid. Why will I do that? Why will I come out and be fighting? I would have told them that their land is gone. It's not. I'm not the only developer that was impacted. A lot of developers on that axis was impacted. At the time, they thought I was crazy. They called a meeting and told me, Madam, what are you doing? Tell your people that their land is gone, their money is gone. If they want to fight, they should go and fight the federal government, period. You are risking your life. You are spending money, time, resources. But this is for Nigeria. This is for our integrity. And this is for the diaspora. I did not fight this fight. If it's my personal property, I don't think I'm going to do that. But I know what it took me to convince some of you all that invested. There was a woman that came that I finally convinced her. When I came to her to invest, she was, let me describe her, ruthless. I got some,
It's all right. So do you understand what's going on there? Right. Let me explain. At least just for those who probably didn't catch. A group of people found an opportunity where diasporans could invest in Nigeria, landed property, right? So they went and they got allocated land, mapped them out, and told everybody to come and pay. The land is ready. So through them, like an agency, a lot of people put in a lot of money to have a plot of land in that place. Everything was fine. Then Devolumayi showed up. And remember the story of this, their coastal road, right? They said they've been drawing the idea. They've had it all muted since 1982. Since Shagari was your president, that's when they had the idea. And back then, where their map for the coastal road to pass through, right? It's like, how many of you know Lagos Ibadan Expressway very well? I wanted to say something so that you can follow me, right? Lagos Ibadan Expressway. And then you now get to town planning way. This is like you coming from Ojota or Maryland. You are going to Onipan, Pangrove, Obanikoro, and on like that, right? But you now get to that town planning way. You know, that place where you can easily just turn to the left, and then to take you straight, like it's taking you to Oshodi. Now, just picture the distance between that Lagos Ikorodu Expressway, okay, from that town planning, that bridge. Picture it in your head now. Yeah, picture that. Then pretend that you are on the bridge and you are looking at Oshodi Bridge from that place. Can you picture that? That is like maybe 1.6, 1.7 kilometers, right? Then when you get to the Oshodi Bridge, now, again, picture it like you are going to Mile 2. No, that's too far. No, now promotion. Let's picture it that you are going to the airport. That's Mile 2 Expressway. And then you turn right, going to the airport, Ikeja Airport, right? Now that place. Then now picture it back to Ikorodu Expressway. Lagos Ikorodu Expressway, yeah? So imagine where the coastal road was supposed to be at the Ikorodu Expressway around 1982. But because of, what's it they call that thing again? Climate change, right? The water, the ocean, has washed off the pure land from that Ikorodu road to the junction of the airport. Before you go to the airport, Ikeja Airport, that's distance. Let's give it 3 miles. Okay, let's say 3 miles. And that's like about 5 kilometers, right? Distance. So imagine all of that place up to Ikeja Airport Junction, that you know is land, you have bridges, you have road, everything. Now imagine that all of that place got washed off. And the whole place is now water. So meaning people who had lands there, they've lost their lands anyway over the years. These ones, they started their agency, I think about 5 years or 6 years ago. They put money together. That means they bought where land is. So when Devolumayi came, he just started from where they found land. And that's what led to him demolishing people's property, because most of them had to even like did sand filling to reclaim the land, like reclaim it, like that landmark. He had to reclaim the land, but Devolumayi took it from him, half of it. That's what happened to those people. So they're asking for compensation. That even if that has to happen, like you have to compensate us. So Devolumayi did not want to listen to them. So they've called them liars. They've called them. So the reason why they kept doing that is because the real investors are there. Okay, they know what's going on. So they now formed kind of like a union or so to fight what the Americans call the what do you call that, your legal case? The ones that everybody can filed together. I remember just now, it just disappeared. You shall get what I'm saying. I'll file a civil, not civil case. So that's what they are trying to do now, to make sure that they get a compensation from the federal government. And over time, as it is in Nigeria, they have managed, not that one, IROC, class action. I beat Tuna to it. I remember before all of now. Class action. That's the one that everybody know. You know, me, I want to sue Nigeria. You want to sue Nigeria. Just don't want to sue Nigeria. I say, no, don't let us sue Nigeria one by one. All of us will come together. We'll now do a class action. So all of our names, how it affects us, everything, versus Nigeria. So that when they win, the victory will come to all of us. Nobody will be left out. Class action. I beat that. We know they do. I don't think we do too much cases in the UK. So in America, we not like litigation that well. I don't know. So that's what led to that. Imagine you working out for your money, and then you have this your trusted friends who believe they have genuine, what have you, and it's not because they don't have any genuine documents. It is because it is Nigeria. So Miss Kimberly, that they call her Akata. Hi. God bless this my dear sister. You know, when we were having, the meeting of the Yoruba Union one day, and one of us was like talking about, oh, you see those Akata, those this and that, and this my lady, one of our Yoruba Union stalwarts, and she allowed him to finish. And I was like, can I say something? I said, yeah, go ahead. And she was like, hey, I want you to know that Akata is now a slur word, though. Don't call blacks Akata like that. They don't like it. They know that we call them Akata, and to them it's like a different meaning to them. It's a slur word. Don't use it on any African American or Black American. And I was like, oh, really? Is it a slur word? And she was like, not really, but it was more or less like it is profiling. And I was like, oh, sorry. So she heard that she's being called, they are calling her Akata, sending her email, abusing her, calling her names. And she's lost money. She's lost money for bringing money to Nigeria, right? Even though Tifnubu said he went to St. Lucia because the returned slaves were taken there, and he wanted to bring them back to motherland. So he gave them scholarships. He sent doctors to them that Nigeria will be paying for. What happened to these Nigerians then who want to come back to motherland by buying land, and they've taken their land from them, left them with a mother? It's now going to be like a mother without land. So who's going to fix that and make Nigeria motherland for them? As that's what they wanted. They wanted to come back to the motherland, and they don't take their land. Leave them with mother, or they are mothers too, right? It is Nigeria. How is that for the reputation of the country? How is that a very good way of, giving the investors confidence in the country if you remove propaganda? Can you explain that to me? No, don't worry. It's just rhetorical. Now, that is just going to take us to another one, talking about injustice. After yesterday, when the Nigerian court rejected the suit that wanted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be transferred to the General Hospital, Abuja, so that he could get access to a better health care, better than where they intentionally locked him and denied him access to all of this. Do they want him dead? There is a bit of a WordPress statement released, right, by his family. I want you to listen.
Okay, good afternoon, lovers of freedom. Today is the 17th day of September 2025. We just came out from a visit to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in solitary confinement at the DSS. We had a meeting with him a short while ago, and this is the message he has sent, or he has asked us to send out to the world concerning the status of his health. This is the man I'm talking. The SSS, through their doctor, who was brought to replace another more competent doctor that actually discovered that he has a very dangerously low potassium in his bloodstream that can trigger heart failure at any time. This doctor, who is of DSS, is fully aware of the seriousness of the potassium depletion in his blood system. And yet, the DSS took samples of his blood system, his blood samples, to South Africa for analysis. The South Africa authority, after analyzing the blood sample, queried why the depletion of potassium in his body. The lab people in South Africa could not give any reason for the depletion of potassium in his system. The DSS facility here has also not been able to show or give reason why the depletion in potassium is consistent and persistent in his blood system. And the question Mazen Namdekan is asking is, if there is nothing wrong with him, then what is the reason for the taking of blood samples from him for almost over 50 times? Why the consistent drawing of his blood in the name of going for analysis for more than 50 times? Why is it that his potassium continues to deplete despite all the medication that the DSS have been giving to him? So Namdekan, he strongly believes that the medicines given to him by the State Security Service and medical department is of no effect whatsoever. He also wants the world to know that he may have been poisoned in Kenya to the knowledge of the Nigerian authorities, but yet the Nigerian authorities choose not to give him the adequate medical treatment that he needs for his survival to face his trial. Namdekan wants us to know that since he was born, he has never suffered diabetes before, nor has he suffered anything post-trem before. But due to the depletion of the potassium in his body, so many things have started going wrong with his internal organs. His pancreas, his prostate, and so many other things. His heart, so many other things. The kidney function is not functioning at optimal level. It's Mazen Namdekan's belief that the Nigerian judiciary is seriously being intimidated by the authorities. And that is why it appears that the judiciary is not helpful to him when it comes to issues of his health. Professor Werey Wike, Professor Emeritus, a medical doctor, who is currently leading his medical team, had deposed to affidavit stating what he found that is wrong with Mazen Namdekan and recommending that Mazen Namdekan be taken before the National Hospital, which is a federal government-owned hospital, for proper medical attention. But unfortunately, the federal government of Nigeria, through the State Security Service, have refused to see reasons why he should be taken to the National Hospital that is here in Abuja. It is interesting to know that at each point in time that Mazen Namdekan's medical checks was being conducted, the DSS will normally send 2 or more of their own in-house doctors to witness all examination. And they are fully aware of his medical condition. They are fully aware that since they kept giving him those medications they used to give him to improve his potassium, that it has not worked. His potassium continues to deplete, and this can lead. Okay.
Nigeria government is negotiating with a terrorist who have killed tens of thousands, kidnapped hundreds of thousands over the years, and they are still doing it, killing, kidnapping, and pillaging. They are organizing peace talk with them. Terrorists are granting press releases. There is not a real single one of them on trial like that. And in their own created bubble, that they criminalized self-determination advocacy in order to keep Nigeria one. They tattered Nigeria. You are keeping a man that you are afraid to try in your own court. The man that your court said abducting him violates every known law to man, locally and internationally, and he cannot be tried in your court, but you are keeping him. You denied him access, right, to his medical care. You denied him medical care, even though your own in-house doctors verify that something is not right with him, his organs and all that. You have taken his blood 50 times, and yet you said there's nothing wrong with him. Again, even when he was recommended to be put on calcium, you are giving him fake medicine that's not working. So your intention is to kill him slowly. A specialist came and recommended that he should be taken to the proper hospital for proper examination. If you have a case against him, how useful is it going to be if he's dead or half dead? But their intention is very much pure, clear. And what is that? The man is not being prosecuted because he's not committed any crime, except the ones they have been struggling to make stick, right? What they are doing to him is called persecution. And how unfortunate, right? So we hope, right, that they won't cross that line in that sense, because they believe that they can and nothing is going to happen. That's what I see it as. But something is going to happen. Because one thing about injustice is that injustice against a just person done by tyrannical, power-drunk mofos is that it doesn't really stop. It won't stop the people from planning and plotting to take you down as well, even if it's going to cost them their lives. It radicalizes people more. That's what injustice does. In case if you don't know, especially the one that is systemic injustice. There is a leader of the Ohanese, Ndigbo. He added his voice to this.
This is Senator John Azota Mbata, President General Ohanese Ndigbo worldwide. I am calling upon Ndigbo Nine, wherever you are in Nigeria, to quickly go and take advantage of the voter registration exercise that is going on right now. Go and get your card as quickly as possible. Secondly, I would like to call upon the federal government of Nigeria to quickly release Nnamdi Kanu. The government has no serious advantage in keeping him. It is important that the government ensures his safety and his welfare, and the government must allow him to go and get medical treatment as quickly as possible. The government must adopt a political solution to this situation. I do not believe that the government has any serious advantage in keeping him any further. Thank you very much.
Onyedu Ibo, Omeri Wonindizu, Woniya, Abakare, Mama Daura, Unapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance the 3. Unapuri Meri Nandi bu Onyedu Ibo, Omeri Wonindizu, Ndiroya, Abakare, Mama Daura, Unapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance the 3. Unapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance the 3. Unapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance the 3. Unapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance the 3. Unapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance the 3. Unapuri Meri Nandi.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu, and the reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children, and men for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy, we are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families, people who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government, to the High Commissioner, that what is happening in the country is unacceptable, and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done, and the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace. We are asking for people to get together. We are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria so we can bring it to an end. That is why a multitude of Nigerians are gathered here today. Those of us in the UK are determined to work with the government for peace. We are determined to work with the International Community for peace. But one thing we cannot stomach is a repeat of 1966. What is happening today in Nigeria was the reason why Nigeria fought a bitter civil war for 3 years between 1967 and 1970. If this continues, there will be another civil war in Nigeria. And this time around, no place will be safe in Nigeria. This time around, nobody will be safe in Nigeria. So it is imperative that everybody...
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience. Don't forget that. And thank you for your time again. But do you know that biggest favor you always do? And you should always do me. is to like the broadcast, as we all call it tonight. So thank you. Like the broadcast, share it, and you have a good night, everyone.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun Diary Diary political. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.